Academia.edu, and I'll be your not-so-polished yet hopefully thoughtful guide as we dig into another fascinating slice of academic research. Remember, I'm here just to present what's in the paper, not to pitch it to you or stake out a position. Okay, so today we're exploring the academic world of symbolism, philosophy, and, surprisingly, anatomy, thanks to a paper by Sergiu Anghel called The Symbolism of the Human Body. Wow. This one stretches across time, culture, and religions. Let me start with the core question here. What does the human body mean? Not just biologically, but symbolically. Why do various civilizations, artists, and spiritual teachers see the body so differently? Sergiu Anghel's paper really digs into this, and I mean, at first glance you might be thinking, the body is just the body, right? But wait. This paper wants us to ask, why did the Greeks celebrate the body as a kind of ideal? Why did Christianity mortify it? Why do Eastern philosophies look at it almost as a vehicle for the soul, for spiritual enlightenment? It's a core question that kind of sits at the crossroads of history, culture, and, well, human experience. Not bad for a Tuesday listen, huh? So, why is this significant? If you pause and think about it, the way any society or tradition relates to the body impacts, like everything, art, ethics, how we treat each other, even how we see death or how we think about progress and perfection. Do we honor the body or do we try to transcend it? Are we tuning up for harmony or trying to leave it behind? Sergiu Anghel shows us how these questions have played out over centuries and continue to us now, even in, say, how we think about things like dance or yoga today. Alright, let's get to the heart of Anghel's arguments. The main point is that our view of the human body is not fixed or absolute. It's this slippery, ever-changing blend of symbols, values, and beliefs. For example, in Greek and Roman societies, the body was almost sacred, the center of aesthetics and even moral virtue. Just picture those statues of athletes and gods. On the flip side, early Christianity painted the body as almost suspect, something to subdue or even deny as the path to spiritual purity. We get this idea of mortification. Think hermits, anchorites, acts of self-discipline that had kind of an edge to them. Did you know some Christian ascetics tried to prove their rejection of the body by extreme acts? Sergiu mentions, yikes, putting maggots back into wounds as a sign of spiritual dedication. I know, that's, intense. Meanwhile, the paper contrasts that with Eastern traditions, Hinduism, Buddhism, and so on, where the body is seen as this energetic, luminous structure that, rather than being denied, is tuned finely to resonate with the universe. You know, yoga, Zen, all these practices are about harmonizing bodily energy, awakening internal potential instead of negating the flesh. There's a great visual here. In the West, spiritual development is sometimes a negation of the body, while in the East, it's a gradual refining and integration of the body's energies into spiritual achievement. I guess it's like whether you see your body as something you escape from, or something you, upgrade to access higher consciousness. Side note, this reminds me of, those old myths about the soul leaving the body as a butterfly, or the way some cultures have foot-washing rituals. I once saw this painting at a little museum, and the symbolism of feet was all about humility. Where was I going with this? Right, these recurring symbols. They're everywhere, even if we don't always notice them. Getting back on track, the paper also draws lines between West and East that aren't totally black and white. There are overlaps. For instance, Western alchemy and mysticism sometimes talk about transforming the body as part of spiritual growth, which, Anghel says, is surprisingly close to the Eastern energy systems, with chakras and kundalini and whatnot. So, even when we think everything is divided up neatly, actual history is more fuzzy, more blended. Yeah, it just goes to show that across religion and philosophy, the body's meaning is continually up for grabs. So what does this mean for you, the listener? Well, Anghel's point is, none of these interpretations are the answer. They're all lenses, ways of seeing and relating to yourself and others. Are you someone who thinks of the body as a temple, a machine, a mystery, a vehicle? How does that shape your life, your habits, your sense of self-worth, even how you move or express yourself every day? For dancers, artists, spiritual seekers, heck, anyone who just wants to feel better in their skin. Understanding all these traditions can offer new ways to reflect, explore, maybe even grow. Let's wrap up. This paper isn't saying any culture or tradition got it right. Not at all. Academic research like this is an invitation, one to look again at what seems obvious, to question, to get curious. And personally, I kind of think that's what makes research culture so valuable. No absolute truths, just more perspectives to consider. Maybe next time you catch yourself thinking about your body, how it looks, what it can do, what it represents. You'll pause and remember that, hey, beneath it all, there's a web of meanings and histories and questions worth sitting with. Thanks for listening to In Depth with Academia. I'll see you next time. Bring your questions, your curiosity, and maybe pay your body a little extra attention today. You never know what you'll discover.